Okay, who here already took the exam? Okay. I'm just doing my own calculations. Okay. So let's move on. So just quick business. Obviously the exam this week, if you didn't know that, we have a lot of trouble. If you do not normally attend Thursday recitation and are taking the exam today, please bring a laptop because there's a big chance there'll be no computer for you. And wait before taking a seat. The people who are in normal Thursday recitation, they're going to get to have a seat and a computer, and everyone else will fit in where there's room. There's a big chance you'll be sitting on the floor, but you have to be okay with that. Everyone told me they're okay with that. So. It'll be cool. We'll have bean bags. It's fun. Okay. It'll be Okay, so let's take 5 minutes to write. So on Tuesday we spoke about some new concepts in cytoskeleton, and a major concept that we need to understand is nucleation. So write about this for a few minutes. What is nucleation, and how is nucleation related to the cytoskeleton? let's see who's going to answer for me today. I lost the list. Okay, how about Pritisha? How do I saw you? Ah, there you are. Okay, so tell me what you thought of when you saw nucleation.
Initial state, starting state, that allows for the rapid growth.
Yeah, so initial step that allows for rapid polymer growth. Okay, so who wants to add to that?
So I remember we watched a video and there were different monomers and they joined together randomly in vitro, but it happens, it's like monitored in the actual cell. But it's monomers joining together to form a polymer. And when the concentration is higher of monomers in the cell, that it forms more rapidly. But when there's a lower concentration of free monomers, the polymer disassembles.
Okay, so you are very nicely describing critical concentration.
Yes.
So but you were talking about monomer and how it kind of is randomly, everyone can kind of remember that movie, right? And so that was, but the formation of a nucleus is actually forming that first starting bit, a stable cluster of monomer that then can kind of act as a seed for expanding. And yes, depending on the critical concentration, it'll polymerize and grow to a certain amount of time, and then once the concentration of monomer goes down in the cell.
So just the nucleation, just the baby
The nucleation is making the nucleus, not the cellular nucleus of the DNA. People always, every semester I have at least one student who comes to me and is like, I don't understand how this is associated with the nucleus. And I'm like, no, the word's the same. That's the only association. But yes, it's the, and I'm not implying you thought that, but just to clarify for everyone out there in internet land, it is that first stage of that stable, it's the first stable complex of monomer that's required for rapid polymerization. Okay, so how is nucleation related to the cytoskeleton? What does this have to do with the cytoskeleton? What are we talking about here?
Well, I was thinking because it, like the cytoskeleton is the movement of the cell, basically. So when we were talking, like the video of bacteria, how it was forming and disassembling, and that's how it moved.
Watch the video of the neutrophil chasing the bacteria, which actually I was reminded by Dr. Saylor, who teaches micro from time to time, that the bacteria they're using in that experiment is not motile, which is even more confusing. But so they must have been doing something maybe with the movement of the media or something to make it move around. But anyways, another story. So that neutrophil is trying to chase the bacteria in order to get it, and what needs to happen is you need to polymerize actin in the direction in which the cell needs to move in order for the cell to be able to move. So anyone else have any, so the nucleation step, without a nucleus, you'd never be able to polymerize actin. So if you had some sort of issue with forming a nucleus, then you'd never be able to move, you if you're a cell. And what we'll learn is there are specific proteins that nucleate actin or tubulin, and that's how that's regulated. Anyone want to add anything else?
That polymerization, is it the same thing as the dynamic
Instability.
instability?
So the question is nucleation the same thing as dynamic instability? No.
Not nucleation, like the polymerization.
Is polymerization the same thing as dynamic instability? Dynamic instability is a concept. Polymerization is a process. So polymerization is that growth from monomer to long polymer of actin or tubulin. That's what polymerization means. Adding subunits together to grow along actin polymer, actin filament. or a microtubule. Dynamic instability is the concept that it's dynamic. It's constantly changing and it's unstable. It's constantly changing from long to short. And that's all dependent upon the critical concentration and the actual concentration of monomers in the cell. Does that make sense? Okay. Are we good? Let's move on. Maybe. Here we go. Well, we'll see how that works today. Okay. So far, what have we talked about? We talked about the key players. Yeah, of course you're moving forward now. I'm hating my computer right now, just so you know. I always give my kids a hard time when they use the word hate. They're like, that's so strong. But then I realized, key players of the cytoskeleton: actin, microtubules or tubulin, intermediate filaments, accessory proteins. That's what we've spoken about so far. Major concepts in cytoskeletal dynamics. We spoke about dynamic instability, filaments produced from subunits, or polymers produced from subunits, nucleation, critical concentration. And so this is where we'll start today. It's really important to get these concepts down, or else it's just very hard to understand this whole unit. So make sure that you're thinking about this, and if you don't understand it, look it up. That's one thing that I've noticed recently is some people are scared to look up information when they don't know it. You can do it. Be strong. Look in a textbook, look on Google, look, I don't know, call your mom. Your mom works in the cytoskeleton. Otherwise, don't call her. I mean, well, you should call her. Always call your mom. I was a horrible, forget it. I was horrible at your age. I was like, oh yeah, I'll call back eventually. It would be like a month would go by. I'm sure they were like in a panic. Anyways, the language of the cytoskeleton, right? So this, oh my God, what is going on? Sorry, we're missing all these words again. Remember this happened last week? Okay, I'm going to stop this recording. And I am going to attempt to restart the PowerPoint.